can we talk about the shooting here for a minute? Because when I first heard that news of somebody in Mar-a-Lago, somebody shows up with a shotgun, a gas can, I thought a couple of things, okay? Here's what I thought. Number one, I thought, well, that's really kind of a Florida man thing, okay? So a guy walking around with a shotgun and a gas can could have nothing to do with Trump, okay? Florida man, right? I mean, dude, that's like a minimum, right? That's like regular weekend Florida man behavior, okay? So that was thought number one, was how did they even know this is unusual? Maybe the guy was just looking for a gas station, looking for a car to siphon. All right, so that was one thing I thought. Number two that I thought, though, was how the fuck did he get inside the inner perimeter? Like, what kind of security do they have at Mar-a-Lago where this guy is getting into the inner perimeter of this place? Like, honestly, I mean, have they not learned? Granted, Trump wasn't there, but it doesn't matter. You know, the fact that somebody can walk in with a shotgun and a gas can and just practically get in the building is pretty wild. So that was number two thought. But then the number three thought I had was that they were faking this shit, okay? Does Polymarket have a bet on how many fake assassination attempts Trump is going to do before midterms, right? I mean, dude, do you get the feeling? That was another thing that I immediately thought. I thought this shit is staged. He just crashed. Like, he just had a poll, guys, that was brutal. Look at this, dude. National poll, Trump's approval, 39%, down 2 points. Okay, lowest second term net approval, right? Border security. Dude, that's his number one thing. I've secured the border. He's -3 on border security. Dude, economy, -16. Immigration, -18. Tariffs, -30. Thank you, Amy Coney Barrett. Inflation, -33. Homie is getting hammered. Dude, they did not ask about Epstein. If they had said Epstein, I bet it's like -92. Okay? So yeah, as soon as I saw that, I thought, dude, this is another staged event. He's going to do these, right? You think we're going to get a couple? I bet between now and the midterms, there's like another couple of these guys. I would not be surprised if there was actually some like a Thomas Crook staged one where they have somebody shot in accidentally while trying to, set this up. I mean, I feel like they're that desperate. They're trying to redraw maps. They're trying the SAVE Act. They've got all kinds of voter suppression shit going on. They're cleaning voter rolls. They're like tying up court cases, doing this insane shit, trying to get unredacted voter data. I mean, I put nothing past Trump and these Reichstag motherfuckers. I mean, honestly, when I saw it, I was like, wow, dude, did they stage another one? Are they performing another one? However, once I sat with it for a minute and I thought, I bet this guy's a right winger. Okay. Everyone so far has been a right winger. Thomas Crooks was a right winger. That guy in the bushes who, like, we don't know what that guy was doing. That guy was a right winger. So anyway, it would turn out that I'm right. That guy was a right winger. Immediately, there was a report from TMZ. The armed man shot and killed by Secret Service agents outside Mar-a-Lago had grown increasingly obsessed with Epstein and was a vocal supporter of Trump. Again, vocal Trump supporter, somebody who's invested, somebody who believed everything Trump said during his campaign. Because remember, guys, Trump campaigned so vehemently about, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. What did he say was going to happen? Full transparency on the Epstein files, right? He was going to cut your energy bills in half by the end of the first year, okay? Well, that came and went, dude. I don't know about you, but our power bill went up, right? He was going to like bring prices down. He was going to create a whole bunch of jobs. Dude, they've done none of this. Even if you get into some of the stupid ass shit that's full MAGA, he said he was going to doge the whole government and like solve all these money spending problems. He was going to bring down the deficit and, you know, the national debt. Dude, he's done none of that. The only thing he did was like tax cuts. And for the average voter, those tax cuts are nothing. If you make less than 400 grand a year, the tax cuts are not really doing shit for you. If you make under 100 grand, you got nothing. Ooh, this is harsh, dude. Armed man fatally shot at Mar-a-Lago, the FBI director. Oh, dude. But here he is, okay? His name is Austin Tucker Martin. Was shot and killed by Secret Service outside Mar-a-Lago. He was a Trump supporter who believed Trump's lies that he'd take down the Epstein network. The disillusioned young man tried to enter the club with a shotgun after becoming upset with Trump's ongoing Epstein cover-up. People close to Martin describe him as well-meaning, but increasingly frustrated, particularly about the economy. We're told he often complained that young people need 2 jobs or roommates to afford moving out. Our sources say he still lived with his parents. And guys, this is tough, man, because like, this is like a real plight here. I'm not saying you should run around with shotguns and gas cans, because that ain't the answer. But the fact of the matter is young people are fucking struggling, bro. They literally can't move out of their parents' house, a lot of them, right? There is something like, there was a stat I saw, guys, that said college graduates, 45% are underemployed. People are going to college, people are getting degrees, they're coming out of college like 150, 200 grand in debt, something that will haunt them for the rest of their fucking life. And they can't even get a job. They can't even get a job. Between the tariffs and Trump going in and cutting like 1 million government jobs, that was stupid. Like, how did you think that was going to help? You think dumping 1 million people on in the job market at one time in like 3 months? How did anybody think that was a good idea? So, I mean, this guy, these are very real issues. Now, I think, you know, picking up a shotgun and a gas can is not helping. But this is the danger with a lot of the Trump voters. A lot of Trump voters are deeply uneducated and unpredictable human beings. People that got activated by his, you know, you get activated by Trump's rhetoric. That's going to be a lot of people that are not in a good, stable state of mind. I mean, if you look at him, he's obviously not a leftist, right? He looks like a groyper to me, right? I'm serious. He looks like somebody who, you know, if he hadn't taken a shotgun there, he was probably going to end up with a blue America First hat on. By the way, dude, we need to do something about the color of those hats. I do not want Nick Fuentes having the color blue. He was 21, okay, from Carthage, North Carolina. There he is, 21-year-old man from Carthage, shot and killed outside the resort, right? Again, though, he was from a family of avid Trump supporters, right? Braden Fields, Martin's cousin, reacted with disbelief. He described Martin as a quiet, afraid of guns, and from a family of avid Trump supporters. He's a good kid, Fields, 19, said. He said they grew up together. I wouldn't believe he would do something like this. It's mind-blowing. He said Martin worked at a local golf course, would send money from each paycheck to charity. He wouldn't even hurt an ant. He doesn't even know how to use a gun, Fields said. He said his cousins didn't discuss politics. We are big Trump supporters, all of us, everybody, Fields said. But his cousin was real quiet, never really talked about anything. Now, this is interesting though, guys, okay? Because, you know, I know some people are still thinking that maybe this is a setup. And so who knows? Maybe there is more to this story. Maybe this kid really wouldn't do this shit. And maybe this kid was just, you know, a patsy in order to stir some shit. You never know. I put nothing past Trump. But I did this line here where it says real quiet, never really talked about anything. That's something that like resonates with me. Not that everybody who's quiet is not dangerous. Okay. I don't want to imply that at all, but I do have some personal experience of having a family member who was schizophrenic. And that was one of the hallmarks of this guy's like interactions. He had two main hallmarks that were one was that he was unusually quiet. Even when you were like talking to him, he was like often distracted, right? Like sometimes appeared like he was in another place, and he would never maintain eye contact. You know what I mean? And so there is, you know, there's a strong possibility that there was a like, I don't know, some type of deep mental illness going on. Now, let me just say with this, guys, that somebody said they're quiet kid from a conservative family. One thing I want to say about that is that there's a mechanism that happens in conservative families where sometimes you don't get seen. And this is true. It's very different in a liberal family. I think in liberal families, there is much more, I see you, what's going on? I notice an infinitesimal change in your behavior. Are you good? Are you all right? Do you want to talk about something? When you're in a conservative family, they don't really look at you, okay? With kids, they're not really looking at you. The conservative families are rife with dysfunction with their children, which they often end up blaming on the teachers or the school or woke indoctrination or whatever, right? They always blame some shit. But the problem is they don't see their kids. They don't see them as like human beings with real full range of emotions and independent sort of like autonomous beings. They see them as extensions of themselves whose job it is to be quiet, to do what they're told, and to like conform to whatever the family requirements are as far as like social structure, behavior, and, you know, scholastics, what job they're going into or college major. And so when you have somebody that is quiet and struggling, whether it's with a mental illness or with some type of like real like threatening feeling, something that's foreboding weighing on them, it just goes unchecked. And this is a recurring problem in conservative families where their kids are objects. And that sucks. That sucks. That's why this is like no surprise. You know, it's like when I read this, I'm like, it does track. You know, it absolutely tracks. But the other thing though, guys, is this shows you how serious the Epstein scenario is with them. Like MAGA is deeply wounded by the Epstein cover-up, by ignoring it. You know what I mean? I mean, guys, if 𝗙់Patel put the same energy into pursuing the Epstein perps as he does, you know, going to the locker room of the hockey team, like, come on, man. You know, what are we doing? But this guy, all right, we're going to pivot now. I'm done with Mar-a-Lago. I'm done with Trump being shot by his own people because, shocker, not shocked. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, You know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.